We are in the swing of Dead Northern 2025 now, here in the heart of York, the most haunted city in the country. And we're in the world, bit of the world. I don't think you can substantiate that. I need evidence. Anyway, we move on. So, we are here with the Bloodbuzz crew. We've had one of them, but there's basically the crew was bigger than Avatar. There's loads of it. So if I do it in 2 stages, this is the rest of the crew of Bloodbuzz. Hello. Who's going to be the spokesman? We talk.
Well, Mike is our producer here, so yeah, so we will channel everything through him, but we will take interviews.
So Mike, the pressure is on because we've had the answers. So if you're on the same page as the rest of the people, basically, if there's an actual real vision, we'll know. Otherwise, we'll know just made it up.
Yeah. Well, one of us is lies. And one of you always tells the truth, so. But which one?
So,
terrible man.
What is Bloodbuzz about? Let's start easy. Ease you in.
Well, Bloodbuzz started, like, originally when we were writing it, about just wanting to make, like, a really cool horror film. And then out of nowhere, there's kind of, you know, we were, Daisy and Leo were always really interested in climate change and doing, like, a cli-fi something, but we kind of had
Cli-fi.
You know, no, it's a thing. Sci-fi, the cli-fi. It's like a climate-based. They're coming out now. Those are films. Cli-fi, eco-horrors, eco-thrillers.
All right. Yeah. Did horror not have enough genres? Do we really need...
As long as you don't use elevated.
Yeah. It's like a genre that's getting tapped quite a lot. And something just came organically about, because we were doing loads of different versions of scripts, and something was like, okay, cool. This is a nice structure. What was it about? Or what was it actually about? And then Daisy went away. Must have been about a night or something. Draft, and came away, but just came away with this version. Oh shit! This is that kind of gaslight. Is what I was having to her. It's like what happens in your mind when you're affected by a conspiracy theory, but also when you're being gaslighted by another person.
Can I just take a second to celebrate? Yes! I suggested to the other two that it was about gaslighting, so it makes me feel not stupid. Good shit. So it's about gaslighting. So happy. I'll take that all day. Sorry.
Continue. Nice. That's what we like. It's always good to fight on it. What's it really about? What's the core? What's driving? And what makes it interesting was her character at the end. And then no spoiler, but like at the ending, you see her kind of catharsis of that because of what's been happening to her. The other stuff is like important, but that's the kind of core,
that vindication,
which I think a lot of really good horror has. That, you know what I mean? Like Jaws isn't about a shark; it's about, you know, whatever. We don't know.
What, John?
I'm pretty sure it's a shark. It's all right. The Brood, for example, is not about things coming out of her body. It's about his anger when he was going through a divorce. It's like that kind of. So once we got that thing, like, oh, we're kind of cooking gas now. So yeah, it's about gaslighting. It's about what people go through when they get caught up in these things. It is about climate as well, and how that's kind of making everything more intense. But yeah, I think that the heart of it is like the experience of gaslighting, going through it, being told that that people don't believe you,
and pushed to an end, and then being vindicated. Something fair understand, because that's 1 hour too. Because that podcast is about sharks. So I've understood 1 or 2 kills we talked about today. That shone through really well, you know, and the feminism side of things. What I said to them was, I thought it was nice that your character wasn't that traditional misogynist farmer that automatically sides with the man. He actually was like, well, she didn't want to go with you, you know, and it was nice that sort of you had that like good guy side pretty early on. I thought that was like a nice step with it.
Yeah.
Here's your first test. So I asked the ladies, I said, if it's about climate change and stuff like that, why did you go with mosquito aliens and not just mutant mosquitoes, for example? Rephrase the question. So why not mutant mosquitoes? Aliens. They don't know where's the alien side come from. Okay, so where the alien side come from?
Ed's character tries to make them out to be aliens, right? Yeah. So he's gas. He's like over the alien side. He making them sound ridiculous, and they're not. They're just mutate because of the climate.
Okay.
There's a little nod to we don't want to repeat what happened with the 5G towers,
right?
And the 5G towers tends to lean into some kind of alien stuff as well, in the more extreme sphere
Yeah.
of conspiracy, you know.
So that's not far away from what they said. They said they'll lean into conspiracy side, like the reptile people and stuff like that, trying to make it very much the conspiracy side of things. Close enough. I believe you had a shared vision.
Yeah, definitely. We're on a draw at the moment. We need to get a winner here. Not a shot, yeah.
So what's next? There was talk of making it into a full-length movie.
Yeah, well, we've got a lot of feedback we've got that it has legs for that, so we are kind of looking at in even less happy activists.
So that we're kind of looking towards that down the line. Obviously, like my picture's a whole different beast as well. Me and Daisy have been working crazy jobs at the moment, so we've been taking time to work on it.
Short 30 soon, probably like November. Daisy has some ideas cooking around. I'm just kind of waiting for the ideas so we can start.
Yeah.
And that tends to be how we work. Like, we'll just bounce through stuff, and then Daisy will go write it, and then we'll just talk about it, go through. We'll usually get some people to read through. Like, we do like 15 drafts. Wow.
It's important to percolate an idea and not run with the. I've got it. It's one draft.
How have you got time to do that when you're in 8,000 films a year?
This is what this isn't actually the real Johnny. It's like the clown 4. It's like he's off in Europe at the moment.
Oh, a lovely side. You pulled this cue.
Yeah. I got yours. I could have been in, Madrid.
So let me ask, for a full feature-length film, the sort of gaslight and angle worked really well in that sort of short claustrophobic time frame where it's like the he shed, she shed back and forth. Could you drag that out over 90 minutes, or would it be more of a different, not genre, but a different vibe?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people pointing out, like, again, you never really know what's going to hit until you get it out there. And a lot of people were actually pinging the kind of comedy side to it and like the B-movie-ness to it. Like, I think having that as your framework might work a bit better as a feature, like
leading into the monstrosity, the effects.
Yeah, and also the weird, like them two smoking at the end and the weirdness of it and the kind of not, what's good, like the world building side of it.
Yeah.
Quite fun. Also having kind of the darker elements in there as well.
See, not that my opinion counts for anything, but I think if you had that if you did a feature as a sequel, so if that happened, rather than stretching it out, that'll happen, then those guys now know that's a thing, and then not more B-movie, let's go and...
Yeah, so it would work amazing. All those characters go on to next.
Yeah.
What was that here?
Well, when I think it was like post-rap screening and everybody just chatting and drinking and chatting and drinking and drinking and chatting. It would be very interesting to see what type of road movie, let's say, would develop.
Yeah. Well, you can call it Buzzbusters, like Ghostbusters, but Bloodbuzz, Buzzbusters. You can have that. Oh. Lied to me, for the sake of spree-related. Yeah. She said, yeah, I didn't actually put it. This is a completely new conversation now. This is a new conversation. So, Richard, you are involved in a lot of things here at Dead Northern. You often have stuff on. How did you feel working with Bloodbuzz?
Working with Bloodbuzz was a no-brainer for me. Like, I've met Mike and Daisy a couple of times, like a few of the IHS Infinite Society networking things. I think, like from them conversations, you said like, "Oh, we're thinking about a script." I was about that, and I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to like read it." And then I think, I don't know, it wasn't even that like short turnaround. And I got the script, and I was like, "Yeah."
Very good script.
So yeah, and then I think we chatted for a bit about it, and then you were talking about like the leads and stuff, and I was like, "Oh, met Johnny before?" Yeah, it's touched me. And then next thing I know, it's like, "Oh, Johnny's on board." I was like, "Oh, quick."
Or he just says yes. That's the thing he just say. So
we met both of you actually at first IHS City, and then came back and like, well, we've met an editor, we've met a POP, should probably get writing on the same. So this is one more.
So what you're saying is IHS, brilliant.
Yeah, fantastic. But yeah. I know they're great. Everything like all throughout our shoot, we got some advice. Alex did some of our t-shirts for a fundraiser. Yeah, they're amazing.
So yeah, then it was a really like cool process. It was quite a drawn out process for the short because we shot in the summer for one block, and then we waited like quite a few months to then shoot in the winter for internals. So there's like quite a lot of prep and quite a lot of thought that went into like both blocks, which you very rarely get on a short. And it was like, if it was 4 days, like it felt Like I was thinking, got a lot in the first two and then a lot in those seconds, but like split in the way they had over it. So yeah, it was very good fun to work.
So we've got a lot of roles to cover. I've been asking everyone this today, so I'm going to drop you just a little bit in it, and just quickly. And we'll go down the line from you, Richard, if you don't mind. You tell me what role you said, and then some advice for anyone who's an aspiring filmmaker, how they can get in the industry, what they could do. Just one piece of advice, if you already had the one.
So I'm a cinematographer or a director of photography. Advice for people wanting to come back is meet more directors, meet more producers, read loads of scripts, come to networking events. Like, I still to this day, I've been doing the horror circuit for at least like 5 or 6 years now. I go to film festivals as much as I can, whether I've got a film in or not, and I will never meet another cinematographer. I'll meet one or two here and there, and that's about it. And I think just go and meet filmmakers.
Because they want to be directors, I guess, or actors.
Well, yeah, I mean, they are peppered with directors, writers, producers, editors. Like these people are all really interesting people because you work. Like if you're not meeting people out in that world, like how are you ever going to be like personable to them? So then when we're like, yeah, let's shoot a film together.
I mean, it makes so much sense. Like horror's quite niche, and it could be quite a lonely interest. Like so get yourself out there, meet other people, network. Make friends. Why not?
If you want to achieve, specifically want to achieve horror things like I do, and like there ain't a friendly a bunch of people. Like it's said a million times. Like it's going to be a cliche thing to say, but you meet horror filmmakers, you make friends for life.
Love that. That's very heartwarming stuff.
I'm Callum. I'm the editor. I think if there's any bias, it's one, watch a lot of short films. I think that's one of the best things about these is being able to watch like sort of like 30 short films in a couple of days.
How does that help?
I think it's good to see what's out there. It's also good to see that because I think horror you can get by with a low budget and a good idea. Like you can watch something that's not got a big budget behind it, but you're like, there was something really interesting about that. And I think it's easy to be like, I can't do that. I don't know people that are capable of that. But then you watch short films, it's like you need a good idea. You should pull some friends together and make something cool.
That's interesting. As an editor, you have to really scrutinize films. Yeah. There's lots of films out there with no budget. What is the difference really between a good low budget film and a bad low budget film?
I mean, I think the edit helps in a lot. I mean,
you would say that though.
To recreate a movie in the edit is a real thing that you need because you're never going to shoot, especially on a lower budget, you're never going to shoot the film that you 100% predicted in your head. There's always going to be like issues that you hit, and I think being willing to be sort of flexible and finding interesting solutions in the edit is definitely a good show. And you can see people who just stick to the initial idea that they had the whole time, and it sort of falls apart a little bit because they weren't willing to divert from that.
Do you quite come in? Sorry, I've sort of gone off a bit of a tangent for that. Do you find yourself in sort of at odds with the director sometimes then because they have a vision and you'll think, well, actually, as an editor, we can't do that, and you're sort of clashing?
I mean, I've not worked with directors where that's been a problem. Yeah. I think generally people just want to make the best film they can. I think it's tough to be in the industry and to look at the footage you've got and not be like, oh, okay, I see what we can't do here.
Yeah.
But I mean, working on Bloodbuzz was a great experience. But even then, there were things where it's like, oh, okay, maybe if we try this will work better. Maybe if Tony Shib does this, that'll work better. But yeah, I mean, advice for getting is just to make stuff. Watch as much as you can, and then make as much as you can, and you'll be on something good.
Yeah, with producing, it's such a massive job. I guess figuring out what kind of producer you want to be. There's so many different mini strengths and weaknesses within producers. Some producers like super budget focused. Some producers are like I probably say I'm more like a creative producer. I can do it. Like you should be able to do everything, but I can do the logistics side. But the bit I enjoy, the bit I think I'm better at is getting a really good team together, putting all the in and smashing all the ideas together, and in the development stage, definitely bringing some of the creative stuff to it as well. I also kind of think, well, shit, oh, fuck, are we gonna do that? I'm so good though. We'll put okay, well, let's think this through, and just working to your strengths as well. You go super organized and maybe go more the kind of liney producer way, or the more kind of budget and scheduling side of it. Or if you're, it's such a big role that you can kind of carve your own little niche in it, depending on what you're good at. There's no point in suffering to be really good at budgets if you're not that kind of brain
oriented, that your brain isn't oriented that way. Like you need to know about it, but you need to be able to do it to a certain extent. But also, like, yeah, I think that there's an enjoyable bit that you're usually good at within that role. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Be the rich tapestry that you hope you are as an actor. And I don't mean that you only do acting. Think outside the box. Define yourself, not, and I'm paraphrasing something else here, just by not being just an actor in the industry. Look outside of that, because you'll always bring it back in to roles that you do. Read loads of novels. That's what I'd say to be. Make sure you read loads of short stories.
Why is that helpful?
Because you have say, for example, Raymond Carver is my favorite short story writer, because there is a blueprint for how short films are made. It is so dynamic, the amount of syntax that is in a short story that conveys a incredible piece of information. And short films are a really hard format to get right. So when you have a reference like that, feed yourself on that kind of knowledge. So when you step on set, that is already percolating in you as an actor anyway. Don't be a dick on top set.
Be out.
Be generous, be honest, be kind to your fellow actors, because we're all in the same boat. Doesn't matter where anybody is on the food chain or the ladder. And give yourself a break if it doesn't go right. Just relax with it, But on top of all of that, make sure, if you can, because it is the hardest thing in the world, go to film festivals. Watch as much as you can. Read as many articles as you can. Find out about actors. Find out about what directors, the work they make. But find out about what work influenced them. It's a bit like loving music. You'll go, oh, I love this band. It could be, Will Oldham or Pavement or anything, but what influenced them? So you're creating this amazing tapestry of knowledge that you have, and I think that is the best thing that you bring as an actor, to any type of project. And the bottom line on all of this: turn up on day one and know your fucking lines.
Guys, that was really, really informative. Thank you. It's nice to have 4 different disparate careers, roles in the film sat in front of me and give some great advice. So thank you very much. No one asked me. But what I would say is, find a load of people who you like and get on with, because the energy from the Bloodbuzz team is wild. And if you get some creative people who like each other and get on, you get some fantastic results, because the Bloodbuzz was absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Brilliant. Thanks. Brilliant.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Brilliant.
Who's that guy?